Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, I'll walk you through it. Okay. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 003370W, State versus Emmanuel Chavarria. Can I have parties announced for the record? State? Defense? And are you Mr. Chavarria? Counsel, have you received all discovery? And did you review it with your client? Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Chavarria, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment? I'm sorry. Did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict? Did you understand your attorney also has certain rights? He has a right for the passage of 2 days from the presentation of the information and the right for 10 days to prepare for trial. Did you understand? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review the information with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information? State, are you proceeding on the information as presented? Did you review the stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand by information you're charged with possession of controlled substance, penalty group 2, 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses? Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Chavarria, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. It will run concurrent with 2024 PF 26140, 2025 CC 002763. They'll take in consideration 2024 PF 26139, 2025 PF 04868, 2025 CC 002764. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense? State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions? Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, community service restitution, no contact with Donnie, D-O-N-N-Y, Medina Flores, Dario, D-A-R-E-E-O, Ariano, A-R-E-L-L-A-N-O, Nevin, N-E-V-A-N, Valdez, and there's to be no possession of weapons. Did you understand that? Those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence? Did you review the waivers? Oh, state you may be excused. Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding the guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing? Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client? All right. How old are you? Are you in school? All right. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? Okay. And is that what you want to do? Okay. All right. I just always want to make sure that people have a plan. Okay. Do you have any children? And what is their age? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. All right. Is Child Protective Services involved at all? All right. This is what the court is going to do. $2,000 fine that'll be probated. 4 years deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2024 PF 26140, 2025 CC 002763. Taking consideration 2024 PF 26139, 2025 PF 04868, 2025 CC 002764. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. $100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete parenting classes, 50 hours will be deemed satisfied. The other 50 hours will be waived if you obtain a trade school certification. We're on the record or some sort of higher level education. We're on the record. Okay. So parenting, 50 hours trade school or higher level education, field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? All right. So, all right. All right. No, no. All right. So there's to be no contact with Danny Medina Flores, Dario Ariana, Nevin Valdez, and you're not allowed to possess any weapons. You understand? Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand? All right, we can go off the record. You have a young child. You can't have people around your young child who are not doing things the right way. All right? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Brother telling me he'll get a kilo in it.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Good seeing you. You have a good one too. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh, Megan, that 2025 CC case, what court was that out of? Oh, give that back to me, please. The dismissal. You have that for County Court 12?
Oh, no, this is for the PF.
All right, can you have Joseph Stateson bring that back? Because she doesn't want anyone signing her dismissals. Do you have it? Oh, if you could redo that one. Thank you. You're welcome. Isaiah's story. All right, you're Isaiah Nathaniel story. Okay.
Don't be talking, man. Are you outside? Okay, go ahead. Okay. Be talking to her.
All right, on this case, where are we on discovery? All right. Okay. And is CPS involved in this? And do you have that in your custody or no? All right. All right, Miss Ferguson, on this case, can I have a 45-day reset, please? All right, we'll come back on May 5th. Yes, yes. Oh, that is for the court reporter. You see, she has on headphones. So all of these tiny microphones are for her. All right. All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Okay. All right, once you sign the reset form, you can be excused. And make sure you're on time next time. Who is here on Carrie Lampkin? Carrie Lampkin? Yes. All right. So where are we on discovery?
We reviewed the file and all the discovery in the file. That's consistent with what is on their pick. We still have not been able to download it through that system. Last time we were here, we talked about possibly getting a flash drive on hard drive. Part of that, we have not done that part of it yet. I've talked with the client. He is going to bring a hard drive. So if we're still not able to get it through the discovery process, we'll have a hard drive in our hands.
Oh, we're gonna bring a hard drive because it's not gonna be available.
But he's gonna do it anyway.
All right, yes. So bring a hard drive. And this will be the last date for you all to have discovery. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset for discovery. All right, April 14th. Thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You're welcome. All right, who is here on Juan Robles? Good morning.
My understanding, he did not show support. I
No.
reached out to him this morning. He did not respond.
All right. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Mr. Robles? Court is calling 2024 CR 010898, State versus Juan Jesus Robles. Can I have parties announced? Defense? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 1:48 p.m. Your client did not answer docket call this morning. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement? All right, counsel, have you had any contact with your client?
2 weeks ago, we communicated about today's date, and indicated that it would be.
All right, state. That will be granted and your client will be remanded without bond. All right, thank you. Oh, he is? All right, thank you. if we could go back on the record, the court will grant a judge's warrant in cause number 2024 CR 010898 and remand the defendant without bond. Yes. And it was only one, correct? Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you. Who's here on Albert Villarreal? You ready to proceed?
Ready.
Court is calling 2022 CR 4504, State of Texas versus Albert Villarreal. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? And are you Mr. Villarreal? All right. Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Albert Villarreal who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 4504 for the offense of assault family second offense on July 11, 2022 for a period of 5 years? Is that you? State?
Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Albert Martinez Villarreal, in the offense of assault, violation condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Number 1.
All right. And the new number 1 violation, where is that? I mean, is that a misdemeanor or felony? Okay. Okay.
5415.
All right, so what are y'all planning on doing with that case? All right, so are you all going to enter a plea on that?
We can do it today.
All right, if y'all want to do it today, because that's the only way I'll be able to run something concurrently. All right, thank you. Mhm. All right, who is here on Constance Sinwell? Oh, come down. Hello, how's it going? Long time no see. I mean, how is, I know you, is it deep sea diving? There's something you do. Kickboxing or something? Yes. How's that going? Yeah, but at least your bones and everything says this. All right, so on this case, last time you were not here because you were in a jury trial. How did that go? Oh. Yeah, well, what happened back to back? Ah, okay. Mhm. Okay, so on this case, where are we on discovery?
See a video, 360 video,
Mhm.
that notice that they have now, and also some of the cell phone dumps that we're waiting on. Those are available, I need to give them minutes.
Mhm.
That's, I think, all the discovery issues that are outstanding, so that should be resolved this week. I do want to bring people's attention to the fact that I need to find psychiatrists for, I may even notice.
Okay,
So if I do that, I'll.
sure. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this for 45 days. And everyone should probably have discovery by that time, and you can make a decision on what mental health motions you want to file. All right, I need a 45-day reset. All right, May 5th. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. And if someone needs anything, let me know. Deputy Laura. Oh, please remain seated. And Scott, you were slow.
Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
I need one.
Okay. Oh, look at, this is really fun. Uh, Philippe Reyes. All right, come down. Hello, good afternoon. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? Could be better, I guess.
Right.
Oh, that is a good thing. All right, on this case, do you have all discovery counsel?
Yes, thank you.
State, were you able to tender an offer?
Yes.
Sir, how old are you?
What did you put in my revocation?
Oh, well, happy early birth month.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Uh, oh, so do you need a time to think about it? Because what I can tell you is once I set this for trial, it's set for trial, and the court will not consider or accept any plea bargaining agreements with a good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. No, 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 no. Here's the thing. I do not want to know what your plea bargaining agreements are. I'm not allowed to know about that. The only thing that I'm telling you, if you want time to think about it, you can. If you don't want any more time to think about it, if you want a jury trial, I'm going to set you for jury trial. I'm sorry. Oh, what would end up happening is at a jury trial, 12 jurors would sit and they would listen to the evidence. And if they find you not guilty, they find you not guilty. If they find you guilty, then what comes up is the punishment phase. And the punishment phase is where they decide what's the appropriate punishment. You can either go to the jury for punishment or you can come to the court for punishment. It's up to you. You can either have a jury trial or a bench trial. If you have a bench trial, that would mean that I would hear the evidence and make a decision. But the state is entitled to a jury trial and you are entitled to a jury trial. So the only way to have a bench trial with the court is if the state agrees that they will waive jury as well. So those are your options. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you back. I'll call you back April 3rd. That will be your final plea deadline date. And after that, if you want a jury trial or if you want a bench trial, you'll need to be prepared to let your attorney know whether you want a bench or jury trial. If you decide not to work things out. If you want a bench trial, let your attorney know. Your attorney can talk to the state and see if the state will agree to a bench trial. If you want a jury trial, just let your attorney know and we'll give you a jury trial setting. All right. Okay. All right. So April 3rd will be your plea deadline date. Do you understand? Is there any other questions you have? Oh, so here's the thing. ICE is federal. So a judge will hear about your ICE case, not me. I don't have anything to do with your ICE case. What I can tell you though is that if you're found guilty, ICE will do what they would do. If you're found not guilty, you'll still have the ICE hold unless the hold is lifted. But I don't have any control over that. This attorney, I don't believe you're his immigration attorney.
No.
So that attorney is not your immigration attorney, so he's not going to be involved with that.
No, but I can do, what I should do is, I'll check here, I will go ahead and give you the formal discussion. The DIA answer.
Okay.
The answer is perfect.
Okay.
I won't take that.
All right. All right. So we'll see you back on April 3rd. And at that time, you need to let the court know what your plans are. All right. Thank you. Deputy Laura, he can go back. Joshua Enzadua. All right, on this case, there's only a plea on one case. Is that correct?
I don't remember what we did, Judge.
Okay.
I think so. I think they either PXE the other ones.
Is there a plea on two cases in this?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just let me get the papers in order. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 3794 and 2024 CR 006799, State versus Joshua and Zadua. Could I have parties announce? And are you Joshua and Zadua? All right, you entered a plea in each of these cause numbers. According to your plea bargain agreement in each case, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. The state is opposed to your applications. These cases will run concurrently. The state will take in consideration 2024 CR 006796, 2024 CR 006798, 2024 CR 007768. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State? Defense?
Yes, sir.
Any objections to the PSI report? State? Defense?
One minor correction we saw in there, Judge, on the portion we saw about criminal history. I think it indicated that he had a juvenile record. He does not have a juvenile record.
Oh,
I think somebody just marked yes when they meant to mark no, but I didn't see anything else, glaring, that I saw that was problematic or objectionable.
all right. And then there was also a Tacoma screening completed and a TAP evaluation. Any objections to those documents? Defense?
No, you're
State? All right. Are there any witnesses?
one, and then Ms. Ramsey will testify as well.
All right. State, do you have any witnesses? All right. Defense, you may call your first witness. Hello. Oh, I'm doing okay. How are you doing this morning? Well, this afternoon. Yeah.
You're swearing?
Yes, I am. Could you raise your right? Are you going to swear in? Yeah. All right. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. All right. Thank you. Defense, you may proceed.
Hello, Maria, how are you? Just introduce yourself. You are Joshua's mother, is that correct?
Yes,
They say you know him his whole life.
yes, I do.
So ma'am, where is Joshua living now?
He resides with me, 279 years.
Okay, and how long has he been living with you?
He got out in November. He just came back home.
So about 4 or 5 months.
4 months, 5 months, 4 or 5 months.
How are things going at home with Joshua?
Good,
Has he helped around the house?
yes,
Ma'am, you understand what we're here for today, is that correct? And some serious offenses, some serious crimes that we're asking for probation.
Yeah.
Is it your desire to that Joshua gets probation?
yes, it is.
Do you think Joshua is somebody that needs help?
And no, sometimes I get, but he's good.
Has he been pretty good with you?
Yeah, he's good for me.
If you know, is Joshua working or up till recently was he working?
He was working with, You're still with the credit.
Yeah, okay.
You can find me all the time.
Since it's been living with you, I know he's in jail, awaiting trial in these cases and everything. Have you had any problems with them at your house?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll pass witness.
Any questions?
He's living with you currently? Yes, currently. He's living here the past? No. So back in 2000. Before he went to prison, yeah. But that's what, he did go to prison for possession of drugs. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, he was on probation for drugs when he straight for the example. And he was revoked off his probation. I didn't know. Legal meeting. Yes, so I know nothing about all that. And I guess it's fair to say that we don't want to see any bad happen to something. No.
Oh, I just have a few questions. Hi.
Hi.
I just have a few questions because I'm always interested in trying to perhaps figure out why people do what they do. That way it can help me with some determination sometime. So where do you think he went wrong in his life? Why is he doing these things?
I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
And I would. That in my house. And growing up, his dad was so spoiled. Then he came back to me and I'm the one that spoiled it. And it's just been hard because I always try to be better than his dad. And because of the things and everything that I went through with his dad.
Okay.
I felt guilty about it.
All right. And how old is your son now?
His son is good.
No, how old is he? All right. All right. So this is what I want to tell you. I do appreciate your testimony. And just know that your testimony was well received. So whatever decision I make in this case, I don't want you to feel guilty about it, that maybe you should have said something else, or maybe you could have done something else. Because at some point in time, children are adults, right? So yeah.
I didn't. I'm expecting positive. I'm not
Okay.
expecting negative
Okay.
from all of this, and I want him to be better.
Okay.
From us.
All right. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
down. All right. Okay. You have another witness?
Yes, Your Honor. We would call Joshua Ansel Dula. Defendant.
Well, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record. All right, defense?
Joshua, we just heard a little bit from your mom about you. You know what we're here on today, correct? There's some pretty serious offenses in front of this court, some felonies, and you're facing up to a decade's prison. You understand that? Okay. Let's start in the past. We're not trying to hide anything. You went to prison in the past. Is that correct? What'd you go to prison for? Sorry. And anything else? Or? Okay. And just to clarify, were you revoked from the drug probation at the same time you were sentenced to prison on the burglary? Okay. How long did you go to prison for? 2 years. Did you do the full term? Okay. When did you get out of prison? 22. So Joshua, since you got out of prison, have you used drugs or narcotics of any type? What were your drugs of choice, sir? Methamphetamines? When was the last time you used methamphetamines? Well, let me rephrase it this way. When did you most recently get out of Thur jail? Last year, 2024? In that time, from December 2024 to today, we're almost at the end of March of 2025, have you used drugs? Your drug test today, would you be positive or negative? Sorry, no pun intended, but if you're positive, you would be negative? Okay. Joshua, I want you to tell the court, why do you think you're deserving of probation in this case? Are you working right now? When's the last time you were working? Okay. And you got locked up, how long were you locked up, roughly, if you know? 9 months, okay, so, my apologies. I didn't speak over you. So you're locked up for a significant amount of time. If you are fortunate enough to get probation, Joshua, you understand that this judge could, this court could order you to inpatient, rehabilitation. Would you be accepting it if that was one of the options that Judge Floyd played? And so you're willing to accept treatment? Joshua, is there anything else you want to tell the court or myself or anyone before I hand you over the question about the CA's office? All right, now we'll pass this witness.
State,
You said you have any drugs been treating alcohol. Also, you put off that for assault on a police officer. You're not really taking responsibility for it, or you're saying the cops attacked you. That's what it says in PSI. That the investigator. That question, let me ask you this. For this assault on a police officer. So you say in your pre-sentence investigation that they questioned you about the sentencing. You say the police like attacked me. I was trying to get off the bus. I am a victim. That's what you said. Is that what you believe?
all right. I'll have a few questions if there are no objections.
No objection, so the picture off.
All right. So did you have a chance to read page 6 of the PSI report? Did you have a chance to read page 6 of the PSI report? All right,
We went over the PSI.
okay.
Maybe we need to see what case.
Oh,
this
just
is.
1 second.
I'm sorry, Judge.
I think I may have it. Oh, I have an extra copy. You're welcome.
Your Honor, I did go over this with them. This is, I believe, a statement by the Metropolitan Police Officer.
Okay. Have you had a chance to, could you read that to yourself? So you've read that. How do you feel about that? But I mean, when you read that, do you hear what he's, I mean, are you internalizing what he's saying? Yeah, he just sounds as though he's given up. He's like, I have been doing this for 30 years. My job here is done. He's not going back. Do you think he would feel that way if this had not happened to him? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about his injuries? What injuries did he have? All right, you say they were trying to arrest you. How were they trying to arrest you? And so when you were trying to step off the bus and you're saying that they didn't tell you what you were arrested for, what did you do? All right, so what did you do? And how did you do that? Not, I guess, I mean, you were there, I wasn't there, your attorney wasn't there, the state wasn't there. So how did you try to do that? So you're saying his injuries because he stumbled. And that had nothing to do with you. And if it didn't have anything to do with you, let me know. I am not holding it against you. I just am trying to figure out what your thoughts were on that day. Well, you're saying he stumbled. How did he stumble? Okay. All right. Any other questions, defense?
It's found on this, guys. On the bus, there was two officers, correct? Okay. If you remember, Josh, when did y'all all end up on the ground at some point? Were you inside the bus or outside the bus? It was outside the bus, so it's like on the sidewalk of the pavement or something? Okay. Did they try to arrest you on the bus or off the bus? On the bus, and then we moved outside the bus. How long did all this happen from the point where they tried to arrest you to the point where you were tased? If you had to guess. 30 seconds. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any follow-up, state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any other witnesses?
Nothing further, that's Your Honor, just argument.
All right. The court will hear argument. All right, defense.
Your Honor, the defense is asking for probation, either deferred or even straight probation for the conviction in this matter. Even if that involves inpatient treatment, static or safety up front, we're not opposed to it, Your Honor. Mr. Enzalgua has a history, and it's unfortunate that we're here today again. I know you don't like to hear the word that mistakes were made and everything else. These were very unfortunate choices. Your Honor, I believe he is taking responsibility for what has happened. And the judge, the court has the discretion, the sole discretion as far as what needs to happen here. He's facing up to the decade in prison. It's a very long time. Person to follow. But I would suggest that he would be better served, the community would be better served if he was placed on probation with treatment. TEC is a place to go. There are certain cases that are warranted for it. However, in this particular case, Judge, I think it's clear there's a drug issue, drinking issue, everything else. In a short time he's been out, he's done okay. I think he will be successful on probation if he's granted. For those reasons, Your Honor, we're asking place him on probation. If the court sees fit to order him to inpatient treatment, but Your Honor, we're begging, pleading not to send him to prison.
Do you think you need inpatient treatment? Well, no, I mean, when you were talking before, you had requested outpatient treatment. All right. I don't think that probation is appropriate in this case, so I'm not going to grant probation. I'm going to find you guilty in each cause number. I'll hear any argument to time.
Yes, Your Honor. I know the state's asking for 10 years for the judge. We have a wide range, anywhere from 2 years all the way up to 10 years. Your Honor, we would ask on the lower end that no more than 5 years. Again, I think if there is at least somebody that suffers with demons, he would benefit from treatment. We understand where the court's coming from by not granting probation. The judge, we're open, begging that the court sees that that's something less than 10 years. We would suggest a sentence of 5 years or less.
And state.
A judge, I mean, that we still, plus the years, due to the previous.
Okay.
and actual,
All right. So I'm looking at your previous history, which is a part of the PSI. You have a previous resisting arrest, search, or transportation. On that case, you were given deferred adjudication, you were revoked. Then you have a driving while intoxicated, you were given jail time. You have an evading arrest detention, jail time. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years in prison in each cause number. They will run concurrently, taking consideration 2024 CR 006796, 2024 CR 006798, 2024 CR 007768. I'm going to order no contact with the complainants in restitution in each cause number with the complainant. Did you review trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do y'all need help? You got it? Thank you, counsel. Yes. Mhm. Well, the only reason why is because the judge specifically asked that no one else signs their dismissal. Okay. Mhm. All right, yes, if you'll talk to. Okay. All right, thank you. If you want to see maybe if that clerk can call that judge and ask them, you know, if they have any objections to another court signing that, since they're not there. Okay. Well, my understanding is, I believe next week, they are going to have CLE, and then I think it's in Corpus Christi. Yes, I will tell you. Sure, if that doesn't work, and everyone, just give me a moment as I put this in the system. Yes. What is the name of the case? All right. All right, Arienta Dela Cruz. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Good afternoon. All right, my understanding is that there's a co-defendant in this case. So it is actually being transferred to the, what court? So it automatically goes to the 399. So it probably would be best for you to go down there and see if they're giving you a setting, so that you won't be surprised if there's a different setting or something. And that way you can have a setting that is agreeable to all of you. Yeah.
There's so much discussion in the case, I can't, I was. Okay, there's other people that the way it was indicted.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's probably best to go down there and see if they can give you a setting. And then that way your bondsman will know that you came to court today too.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Every acknowledgement that sign. Take that down there.
Yeah, they'll do another one. Yeah. All right. You're welcome. All right, you too. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that caught me and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, guys. Yes. All right. Who is here on Carolyn Brown? Okay. Yes.
That we will be finding out this case.
All right. All right, Norma, I need a PSI date.
She's been in custody since early September, so she's hoping maybe that she could have a sooner PSI than later.
All right, so let me explain to you about the PSIs. The PSIs are running 8 weeks. What we can do is I can set it sooner if y'all want to waive a PSI. And I'll have the state give me the criminal history, and then you can bring witnesses in.
That, I would, let me. that could be an
Or
option.
if the issue is a drug issue, then we can set it. And that would probably be about 2 weeks for that.
And you would be requesting a TAP evaluation. I don't think it was checked on the plea bargain, but that would be requested probably.
All right. I mean, of course, I'll ask for a TAP evaluation, but it's gonna be 8 weeks.
Right.
And then, you know how 8 weeks is because Fiesta is coming up in April.
We're not on the record yet. May I inquire if perhaps she could reside at a location outside of custody and she would make an appointment for the probation interview for PSI. She's been in since September, over 6.5 months.
On that, we'd have to have a hearing because does she have a bond set?
There was a bond, I believe there was a bond set, it's with GPS and she can't afford it.
Okay. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We'll go ahead and take the plea. And we'll discuss and see what can be done, but.
It's the $75,000 bond.
um, Which page is Brown on, please?
I'm sorry.
The page Brown is on? All right, thank you. Is she on page? Oh, there she is. Thank you. It wasn't highlighted. All right, so Norma, what would it be a PSI date?
May 8th.
It'll be until May. So my hands are tied with regards to the PSIs. I can't, I could try to get it expedited and ask for it to be expedited, but
If we could ask it to be expedited and see if there's something that could be moved sooner.
okay. Ms. Abrams, do you think we can get this PSI expedited?
Judge, I could probably see about getting it done like in 4 or 5 weeks. Yes, Judge.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Say thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right. So when do you want me to call it back?
I can make a call.
Jason, please.
Okay, Judge, April 22nd.
Okay. All right, you're welcome. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011892, State versus Carolyn Brown. Can I have parties announce?
Jason Gearhead for the state.
The attorney of record is Monica Guerrero. Joseph Stateson covering, and Ms. Guerrero was appointed today. I explained to Ms. Brown that she's entitled to 10 days for her attorney to prepare before a hearing, and she joins in a waiver of the waiving the 10 days. Will you give this judge permission for me to do this today, please, Ms. Guerrero?
Yes. All right. And do you have any objections to this attorney standing in? All right. Counsel, I'm sorry, Ms. Brown, did you review the deferred adjudication application?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
And counsel, you've had a chance to go over to the discovery with her,
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
and you've received all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Brown, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we proceeded on count one, waiving count two, and the repeater enhancement.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Brown, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State is silent on your application, and there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is asking you to have no contact with the complainant or the complainant's address. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an exhibit under one with this attachments.
No objection.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. This court will schedule this for a PSI and TAP evaluation. We'll come back on April 22nd. On that date, a decision will be made regarding your application. It'll be based upon whatever evidence that is presented to the court.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, I
Pablo Avadano. Oh, come down.
Aquí en el. Yeah, but we're just.
Okay, oh, just have a seat. The interpreter will be here shortly. And are you already on Albert Villarreal? Okay, all right, just as soon as she swears him in, we'll take it up. Ariante de la Cruz. Why do I have this? Okay, I don't know why I have it up here, but okay. And Norma, were you able to send that email? Okay. Oh, are you all ready? All right. Pablo Avendano. All right, hello.
Hello, Judge.
Hi. So where are we on the immigration issues? Mac was,
Yes, so
brought
that's where
in?
we were here last time, Judge. I did get an email from Justin letting me know that they require more of a notice, that they require a 3-week notice. I sent him an email this morning. I think the former said that he might have come in today. I know my client did tell me that he's spoken to him twice. I just don't have the letter from him, so I don't
when
know.
they say a 3-week notice, a 3-week notice on what? Because we were here on February 10th and there was need for an immigration attorney at that time.
Right, and Norma sent me an email telling me I need to go through the website. I sent it, like as soon as I got, like the next day or the day of, right away, and, but I just think that they just need a couple weeks or a week. I mean, it should just be pretty quick, Judge.
But I mean, and
I
I'm
know,
not
Judge.
blaming you. I'm just trying to figure out this week situation because we're in the 3rd week in March. And this was from February 10th. And so I'm just trying to figure out what they mean. They need more time, but
Well, let me see. I don't know if I've heard from him yet, Judge, but let me see.
I mean, of course, I'm going to give them more time
So
because it's your right. So you will know the consequences.
February the 11th is when he said, "We've received your request. Thank you for using our online form. We understand that's not always possible and we'll do our best to accommodate, however, it will not be guaranteed. In addition, if the hearing date is reset, but what was it? Oh, okay. However, when possible, we ask that your request for the advisor will be received 3 weeks prior to the next hearing."
All right, so they've had their 3 weeks.
February 11th.
All right, State, were you able to tender an offer?
There's an offer. Yes, there's an offer, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Recall this. For April 21st. That will give them more than 3 weeks. And that's your plea deadline date.
I know that's Easter Monday. Can we do the 22nd?
Sure. See, you know what? People are always acting as though they're in church on it. No, it's not you.
I don't know why we get Friday. We should get Monday.
People are always, Megan, help me out. People are always saying they're in church every Sunday. And then you know what the pastor says? Only sees people on holidays.
The
If it's
Creasters.
Easter,
Creasters.
yeah.
Christmas and Easter.
Yes,
They're called Creasters.
Creasters.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's Creasters. That's what she said. They're showing up for Easter, but the rest of the year they don't see them.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was telling me that there's a song out and it says something about, don't let the church see you in a hearse. Well, I mean, because that's the only time the church will see you in a hearse. So let's not do, we're not gonna do that. But okay, I understand. We'll set it for April 22nd.
Thank you, Judge.
And I'm gonna drive around to every church, and if people are not in there,
Well, we go to the ranch on Easter Sunday.
I'm
so-
driving to every
Yeah,
ranch.
but it's about the county, all the way in 3.5 hours away. That's what we do. You know,
Okay.
like, yeah.
Pick me up on a ride with y'all and we'll say, okay, she's at the ranch, I'm gonna get a ride back now.
Judge Mike is familiar, you know, with the area, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you so much.
Thank
Is-
you, Judge.
Is there anything else? Do you have any questions, sir?
No, yeah, or.
What does that mean?
¿Tiene preguntas?
Si tiene otra pregunta para la jueza. Pero como yo le dije a usted de que.
They're just not using the interpreter. Do you have any
¿Tiene
questions?
preguntas? ¿Sí o no?
Do you have any questions for me? Yes or no?
De la jueza.
¿Sí o no? A la juez. ¿Me está escuchando?
Of
¿Ya?
the juez.
¿Me escucha?
I don't know how to do it.
¿Sí o no
Judge.
para la juez? Hable usted.
I dream in Spanish, so. It's like.
Tiene
hard
que
for
decir
me
una
to-
palabra. Tiene que contestar con una voz.
Tienen preguntas de la jueza. Tiene que decir sí o no.
I am shocked at you. Usually people will answer you. Now he's like, no.
No. No.
Right. Usted no tiene pregunta.
All right. Usually somebody will say, you know what? I want my case dismissed. If somebody
I
would
think
say
he's
that. maybe I
nervous,
would've
Judge,
stopped them.
after somebody just, I think he's a little scared, Judge.
Okay. All right, so that will be your plea deadline
Somebody
date.
passed out in court, you know.
All right, thank you.
Gracias.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good one.
Se va.
Traumatic for everybody. Yo voy a hablar con usted hoy, en la tarde, ¿ok? No, it's just he's scared. He's just from Venezuela.
Okay, I didn't even know people were in here when that happened. All right, at least I wasn't paying attention to the side. Court is calling 2025 CR 003-381W. And we're back on the record in 2022 CR 4504 State versus Albert Villarreal. Can I have parties announce?
Rick Peña for the state of Texas. Alfonso Otero on behalf of Mr. Villarreal.
And I use Mr. Villarreal.
Yes, ma'am.
And the cause number ending in 3381W. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Villarreal, did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051
Yes, ma'am.
and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict. You also have a right for your attorney to have 2 days to pass before the presentation of the information and 10 days to prepare for trial. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review the felony information with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with assault, family, household member with a previous conviction? That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you were giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yeah, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. Villarreal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There are no applications. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with the complainants. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plea?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state offers into evidence, state exhibit 1 with all attachments.
No objection, Judge.
All right. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront
Yes, ma'am.
any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge.
Court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine. Affirmative finding of family violence. There's been no contact with the complainants. Did you understand that do you understand that's your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions with regards to sentencing from either side?
No, Judge.
All right, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled. Oh, I am so sorry. Just 1 second. I'm trying to do two things at once. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a felony conviction, also in an affirmative finding of family violence, you're also not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and state, on that cause number, did you speak with the complainants?
You have attempted, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now we're back on the record in 2022 CR 4504. On this case, the state is recommending 2 years. Has your client done anything on probation?
Yes, Judge. I think the only violation is the new number one. They did not allege anything else, so I'm assuming that he was doing everything as expected.
Probation, what has he done anything on probation?
He did complete outpatient treatment, Judge. He paid $282 toward all of his fees. There was a couple of attempts, Judge, to complete the BIPP, but it doesn't indicate that it was an actual completion. Like violations were done there, Judge. So that's it.
All
There
right.
were some negative UAs.
Mhm.
There were negative UAs and 2 positives. Other than that, right, he was exited from the BIPP 6 times.
Why have you not been successful?
I was trying, then I was having like money problems, like trying to take care of the family and stuff.
Well, how does money problems equal to you throwing a can at somebody? Because that's why we're here.
That's fine.
So, I mean, why did you throw a can at somebody?
It wasn't even a can,
Hairspray.
hairspray can. It wasn't even like that. It was just disobeying. His mom had called me. That he was getting mad at him because he wanted to leave in her car. So I go over there to start controlling. That's when he came at me. The pictures of the police report, I'm the one with the black eye where he swung at me. I mean, I'm just trying to contain the thing.
Right, so here's the thing, in the police report, it says you were the aggressor. And if you were the aggressor, it appears if you had a black eye, it appears that you lost the fight.
Yeah,
But you should not have been involved in that at all.
Yeah.
Because you're on probation, you
Yeah,
understand?
I was,
I'm sorry.
sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just because all I heard was, can you come help me? And I try to go help. And one thing led to another. He rushed me. I just try to, control the situation and end up becoming something that is like not even on the police report. You know what I mean?
Okay, what you're saying doesn't match what's in the police report. But I understand that it was a can of hairspray.
Yes, ma'am.
The reason why I tell you this, and I talk to people to try to figure out where they went wrong, is because you need to discover where you went wrong so you won't be back here.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if you don't tell yourself the truth, you're gonna end up right back here. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is gonna, and he's waiving his right to appeal.
Yes, Judge.
The court is gonna follow your agreement, find you guilty, revoke, and the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison that was agreed upon, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with the complainant.
Yes, ma'am.
And our request to therapeutic community is to help you, not only if you have issues with sobriety, it will also help you with any parenting, anger management issues, that type of thing.
Thank
You
you.
understand?
And can we just run it concurrent with the other case?
Yes, let me put it on here. Concurrent with, you see that clause number?
Yeah, because number 4.
Yes, what is, thank you. And it will run concurrent with 2025 CR 003381W. And just one moment, let me give you, did I give you the trial court certification in that clause numbers?
You did, Judge.
All right. Did you review the trial court certification with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, and also because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Do better.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, miss, thank you for the classes and everything you did for me on probation.
Oh,
Really
you're
helped a
welcome.
lot.
Oh, I'm
I was
glad.
just trying, but okay. Yeah,
Oh, I know, but you can do better still,
I will.
okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're
Think Judge
welcome.
may be excused?
Yes.
You good?
All right, who's here on Luis Martinez? You're not ready? Okay.
I think that Brian, what happened,
Sure.
obviously I was here this morning, but looking at my records, I checked the status of this case on the 2nd of March on
Mhm.
Odyssey.
Mhm.
It said it was set for May.
Okay.
Odyssey tells me now that on the 6th of March, 4 days later, it was reset for the day. I
Mhm.
never got notice.
Okay.
And I went back, fortunately, she sent me a text early this morning, but I've been working on trial notebook and lockup,
Mhm.
and I didn't see it until just a few minutes
Okay.
ago. So I've not seen the PSI.
Okay.
I'm just not ready for this sentencing, Judge.
All right. So, Ms. Abrams, if you'll make sure he has a copy of the PSI. And then Norma, recall this back for April 3rd for sentencing.
Your Honor, we were wondering, defense counsel and I did confer, if we could set it for April 10th.
Okay.
I think they've got somebody that wants to
Yes, Your Honor,
participate.
we're complaining.
All right. All right, April 10th.
Thank you.
It is Luis Martinez. It's just,
No, I won't take it
no,
out.
no, not leave the courtroom, just so that he can see it. All right, thank you. And Bashan will recall it back on April 10th. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
So, Mr. Keys.
Who's here on Leo Cantu? Don't tell me, is this the last case for today?
Close to.
Jen, is this the last case for today? All right, if you go pull the 2 more paper files and just hand them to me, please. And is this a plea on 1 case or 2? Or?
Two, Your Honor. Last numbers are 77 and 43.
All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 011943 and 2024 CR 011977 State versus Leo Anthony Cantu. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Garaham for the state, Your Honor.
Will Brooks for the defendant, Mr. Cantu, Judge.
And are you Mr. Cantu?
When you've gone through, yes, no.
Thank you. Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, have you received all discovery
Yes, I have, Judge.
and that you review it with your client?
Yes, and discussed it as well.
All right, in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications?
No, Your
In each of the cause numbers, Mr. Cantu, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did, and I have.
At counsel, in each of the cause numbers, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
And state, and the cause number ending in 11943, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the cause number ending in 11977. Are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're waiving the enhancement paragraph.
Any objection?
No objections, Judge.
Alright. And cause number ending in 43. You're charged with evading arrest detention with a previous conviction. That's being charged at the state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. And the cause number ending in 77. You're charged with assault on a peace officer or judge. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering into these plea bargain agreements, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter to a plea bargain agreement in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am, I did, and I have.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Judge, I do. He is someone that suffers from mental health issues, but I don't have any questions about competency or sanity, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Cantu, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the pleas?
No, ma'am, they have not.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargains?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And the cause number ending in 43, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 210 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. There's a $2,000 fine, no applications. The state will take in consideration 2024 CR 011980, 2025 PF 04304, and in the cause number ending in 77. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison, a $2,000 fine, no applications, and the same cases will be taken in consideration. Did you understand that to be the plea in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Judge.
state.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No rulings, Judge.
All right, then in cause number 2024 CR 011943, how do you plead?
No contest.
And in cause number 2024 CR 011977, how do you plead?
No contest as well.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, in each case, these things are whatever wrong with all this attachments.
No objections to states one or attachments, Judge.
All right, state, you may be excused. In each of the cause numbers, did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it? Sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
No objections, Judge.
All right, then the court will accept, in addition or an addendum to States Exhibits 1 and attachments and cause number 2024 CR 011943 and review the same. In each of the cause numbers, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. In each of the cause numbers, the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Judge will waive a PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Simply, Judge, that we're happy to have the benefit of the bargain, and we hope that the court will follow that agreement.
And cause number 2024 CR 011943, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 210 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Taking consideration 2024 CR 011980 and 2025 PF 04304. And in cause number 2024 CR 011977, the court will find you guilty as previously stated and sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Take in consideration 2025 PF 04304 and 2024 CR 011980. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing in either of those cause numbers?
No, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because these are plea bargain agreements, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You're gonna have to make better decisions. Otherwise, how old are you?
27, about to be 28 in May.
Okay, let me just tell you something. When you hit 30, doesn't happen when you're 29, but time when the clock strikes 30 years, time just speeds by. Next thing you know, you look up, you're 50. Look at me. I'm 21 and just like, don't let me get to 30 just yet. But so you're gonna have to do better. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
You're
You as
welcome.
well.
The big hit for him.
Thanks.
All right, Kevin Harris. What page is he on? We are so close and yet so far. Thank you. All right, this is going to be recalled for. Recall it for the 31st. Deputy Laura Harris is being recalled for the 31st. And then the last person we have is James Loresh. All right. Okay, well, I will make a ruling on that without his presence. All right, we'll see everybody. Well, I will see some on Friday.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All righty.
Because I talked to Charles Bob, he said he's gonna be here, but it's just really just a meeting.
Yeah, just.
His client did make talk,
Okay. Yeah.
and then I think, is it Monica Guerrero
Mhm.
on the other one? I thought.
Yes.
Okay,